day 1, I spawned in as a baby lava warden. What's this? I'm with a bunch of other wardens on top of a volcano? Why are we here? What's going on? I looked up and spotted a ton of phantoms and a giant hand with an eye on it.
Cast them into lava.
The phantoms began to swoop down and knock all the wardens into the volcano's lava. They were burning and faded away.
They shall all die and be forgotten.
I watched helplessly as the other wardens were killed in the lava. I tried to get away, but before I could, one of the phantoms knocked me in. I was hit in the lava, but wait, to my surprise, I survived, and I'm not taking any damage.
Impossible. How are you still alive?
I don't know. I just got here.
It matters not. Your life ends here.
Yai came charging at me, and I did my best to avoid his attacks. I had to escape, and fast. I climbed out the volcano and ran as fast as I could. I needed to get away from whatever that thing was. I ran through the forest until I could no longer feel the Yai's presence. I think I should be good now. Who was that guy? And why did he want all the wardens to be forgotten? It was nighttime, and I made my way out of the forest. But what's that? Is that fighting? I approached the sounds, and it was a guy fighting a mob of zombies. Hey, are you okay? Do you need some help?
Warden, help me?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Do you want help or not?
I'm Steve, and some help would be greatly appreciated.
I picked up some of the ground. This should take care of the zombies. Nice. I threw more lava at the zombies and defeated them. Steve ran up to me and was confused.
You don't act or look like any of the other wardens. Why?
Your guess is as good as mine. But was it right to kill those zombies? I mean, they seemed kind of confused.
Of course it was cool to kill them. They hate me, and I hate them. I don't see anything wrong with taking them out before they do that to me.
Steve left and went his own way. Did I make the right choice killing those zombies? If not, what am I even doing here in the first place? It was day 3. I continued exploring this strange world. It seemed like everywhere I went, there was some kind of conflict happening between the creatures in it. I found myself in a snow biome and saw a group of penguins traveling through it. Suddenly, a polar bear jumped out and he started to attack them. He was killing the penguins. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure if it was my place to. Maybe I should just stay out of this one this time. Oh no, there's only one penguin left though.
Cha! Help, dude, please!
I couldn't just stand by. I ran over to help him. Leave these penguins alone. Can't you guys both live here peacefully? The polar bear didn't want to listen, and it rushed at the penguin. Stop! I threw a magma block directly at them. Whoa, the magma block scared off the polar bear, and it began to run away. I looked where it landed, and it started to melt all the snow in the area.
Cha, whoa, dude, thanks for saving me, but you totally just wrecked my home!
I'm sorry, I didn't know it would melt everything.
Cha, whatever. My name's Kowalski, and I'm coming with you for protection, alright? You owe me.
Wait, what? Okay, fine. I reluctantly agreed. After all, I did melt his home.
This dreadful lava warden, he is throwing off my balance to the world. He will need to pay for this.
On day 4, Kowalski and I continued to travel together, and eventually I realized this world was dangerous, and I was definitely going to need some protection. I gathered some wood to create a crafting table, and then crafted a wooden pickaxe. With the wooden pickaxe, I mined a bunch of stone in order to make myself a set of stone tools. I then gathered more resources, so I would have enough material to make a base. Before finding a nice spot, I gathered a bunch of snow so Kowalski would feel right at home. Finally, I found a great place to start a base. I began by building a small house out of the wood and cobblestone I'd acquired. Kowalski and I then built a small place for him to live in, and I placed the snow around his house to give him more of an Arctic kind of feel. I then went back to my house and used the leftover cobblestone and wood to make furnaces and chests for my base. Hey, this is a nice start. I went over to Kowalski. Kowalski came out of his house.
Cha, thank you so much for building this for me, Fozo.
Don't mention it.
I feel like so much safer now. I'm so glad I have a friend as compassionate as you.
It was pretty clear to me that this world was filled with problems, and there was no compassionate people around. You really did need a friend. Suddenly, I began to hear bells in the distance. Wait a second. It sounded like raid bells from a village. I better go investigate to see what's going on. I found where the siren was, and I came across a village being invaded by a mob of pillagers. I want to help these villagers out, but it's been days. I'm starving. I went into the village and got some hay bale blocks from them to make some bread to eat. All right, there we go. Now that I've got some food in my stomach, I think I can help them out. I went out, and suddenly the villagers were being attacked by a large creature. It was an iron golem. He must be here to help the villagers. It wasn't that strong because he was still getting overwhelmed by them.
Hey, you there! This village will be destroyed if this keeps going on. Can you please give me a hand?
I can, but I don't want to hurt these pillagers. I ran up to one of the pillagers and asked them why they were attacking this village. Can't you just do something else instead of harming them? Your nature? This is wrong. Lost in my thoughts, the pillagers surrounded all of us and captured us. Oh, man.
I need to get rid of this blasted warden. Skeleton, transform and rise!
What is your bidding, master?
Find the lava warden and destroy him.
Oh, my head. I woke up at the pillager outpost. I was in a cage with the rest of the villagers. And to my surprise, Steve?
Why didn't you do anything to help the villager, Fozo?
I wasn't sure what the right thing to do was. I don't know what's going on in this world and what I should and shouldn't choose.
Well, you chose wrong.
I was very disheartened from what Steve had said and started to feel really lost. Maybe I did make a mistake. Suddenly, there was a strange sound and a figure appeared in front of me.
So, it is true. The lava warden is real.
Huh? Who are you and how do you know about me?
It is not my place to say, but you are very special.
Special? What do you mean by that?
I don't have much time, but I can at least do this for you.
What's going on? Suddenly, I started to change, and I became a fully grown warden. He gave me 30 hearts as well. Whoa, how did you do that? I looked around, but the mysterious figure was gone.
Whoa, I knew it. You are different. You must be special after all. We need to get out of here. I have an idea. Help! We need some help!
A pillager ran over, and when he was close, Steve hit him and knocked him out. He grabbed the key to the cage from his body and used it to unlock it. We freed the other villagers and began to make a run for it before the rest of them arrived. Steve and I returned to the base, and Kowalski was there with a bunch of sheep. Kowalski, what's up with all the sheep here?
Cha, well, I wanted to contribute too, so I went out into the plains and brought these sheep here, man. Now we have like food and stuff, but I also saw something else.
Kowalski told us that while he was in the plains, a crazy skeleton flew past him.
Yeah, man, it was super creepy and really weird. I've never seen a flying skeleton.
That's weird, but thanks for the sheep. I had to make more upgrades at the base now that we had sheep here. And Steve. I built a pen for the sheep and created a nice home for Steve. You can put your belongings here if you ever feel like crashing.
Thanks, bro. Much appreciated.
I was so bothered about that mysterious figure. What did it mean when it said I was special? What's so special about me? I decided that the best thing to do was to sleep on it. But before, I had to change the entrance to my house. There was no way I was fitting in that door. On day 8, I had a vision. I saw a village, and inside were a ton of wardens. Hey, you're just like me. But then I noticed that they were attacking the villagers. Wait, what? Why are they doing that? Guys, stop. This isn't right. Everywhere I looked were more and more wardens attacking creatures. They were totally destroying everything in the world. How could this be possible? Why do none of them look like me? A mysterious entity appeared in front of me.
I've sent you this as a vision of the past. This is how the world used to be. Wardens ran through the land, killing everything in their paths.
What? Why? Why would they do that?
The all-seeing eye created the Wardens, Fozo.
Wait, what? He created them? But a few days ago, he was the one that was destroying all of them.
Things are uncertain. You must travel to the original ancient city if you want to find out more.
Original ancient city? Oh, how am I gonna find that?
Isn't it obvious, young Warden? You will have to follow your heart. You know where it is. Good luck.
No, wait, don't go! But on days 9 to 10, I woke up and I heard Kowalski calling out to me. I immediately jumped out of bed. What happened?
Oh, dude, you were like sleeping and like saying like don't go and stuff and all that crazy madness. So I came out to see what was up.
I saw a bowl of mushroom stew outside the front of my door. Is this for me?
Yeah, man, I thought it would help you sleep better. Are you like okay?
I told Kowalski about my vision and about the mysterious figure.
Wow, that's like a lot. But I think you'll be fine, alright? You're tough. You're super strong and you got me here to have your back.
Thanks, Kowalski. I really appreciate it. I need to find that ancient city the figure was talking about. He told me that if I just followed my heart, I'll be able to find it. If I find that place, maybe I'll learn more about myself and who I am and why that crazy eye wants to get rid of me.
Best of luck, Pozo. I hope your heart knows where it's going.
Thanks, buddy. I ate the mushroom soup. Wow, that was good. After I finished eating, I went and prepared to go look for the ancient city. I started my journey toward the ancient city. I just headed in the direction that felt right. As I was traveling, I noticed another village was being raided by a group of pillagers. I wanted to stop and help, but I knew that I needed to get to the ancient city as soon as possible. I continued on, and I spotted a group of wolves fighting sheep. The sheep were definitely losing the fight, and the wolves were laughing as they did it.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem right. Why does everyone in the world hate each other? They're so hostile. It only seems like it's getting worse from when I spawned in. I eventually made my way into the swamp biome and began to travel in it. I then heard some noise in the distance and spotted a flying skeleton.
I will find you, Warden.
Oh no. This guy must be after me. He looked way too powerful for me to fight. I need to find a place to hide. Eventually, I came across a hut in the swamp. It was empty, and I figured this was my best bet to hide from the skeleton. It seemed as though it didn't know exactly where I was. I figured it was best to spend the night here and travel the rest of the way tomorrow. I woke up, and there was fire everywhere. Oh man, it probably wasn't a good idea to sleep on the wooden floor. I heard shouting outside, so I ran out to see who it was. It was a witch, and she didn't look very happy with me.
What have you done to my home?
I'm sorry. I was hiding in it for the night. I didn't mean for this to happen.
My home is totally destroyed. Now I have nowhere to stay.
Listen, I have a base and not too far from here. How about you go and live there for the time being? It's the least I can do. The witch agreed to head back to my base. I gave her the coordinates and she set off. I then continued on my journey. I kept going in a direction that just felt right. I really hope my heart is in the right place. I'm not just walking aimlessly. I continued walking, and eventually I came across this crazy looking cave entrance. Wow. I guess my heart did know the way. I entered the cave cautiously. I traveled deep into the cave and found myself in what appeared to be an ancient city. This one seemed different though. It was in total ruins. The mysterious figure told me I had to travel here. But what could I be looking for? I began to search the ancient city. I started to hear a strange noise from behind me, and I turned around, and look at that. It was the mysterious figure.
I knew you would find your way here.
Why am I here? What's the reason for all of this?
Like I said, young Warden, I can't tell you, but I can show you. Long ago, this was the birthplace of all the Wardens. The All-Seeing Eye created them to work for him. He made many Wardens, and they followed his orders without question. For many years, the Wardens did as they were told.
Suddenly there was a large rumbling, and the vision faded.
I couldn't hold the vision any longer. He knows I'm trying to aid you.
What? What does he want with this world? And why is he against all of us, including you?
The All-Seeing Eye controls everything and everyone. He wants balance in the world, and that requires conflict. And the Wardens upset that conflict. You more than the rest.
Me more than the rest?
There's more to the story, but sadly, I must go.
The mysterious figure disappeared. Man, this guy's hard to keep in one place. One thing's for certain. I need to put an end to this all-seeing eye. The people of this world deserve to have free will and not be controlled by some kind of monster.
At last, I found him!
On days 17 to 18, I made my way back to the surface. I stepped out of the cave and began to look around. Something didn't feel right to me.
The Lava Warden will die.
I looked up and spotted the flying skeleton. The all-seeing eye must have found my location somehow. The skeleton began to charge at me and attack me from the sky. He was so powerful. How was I going to fight against him? I began to use my magma throw ability to throw magma blocks at it, but he was still too strong.
You are the Warden he's afraid of? Ha! You're gonna be done for.
The skeleton started to shoot fireballs at me, and it took away a bunch of my hearts. I was too weak to fight this now. I had to flee. I started to run away, but the skeleton kept following me. It was right behind me and continued to attack. As I ran, I made my way into a thick forest and hid under the trees. The skeleton was unable to see me because of all the leaves.
I will find you, Warden.
I kept going, and thankfully, I was able to lose the flying skeleton and make it back to my base safely. That was such a close call. I didn't think if I was gonna make it, if I'm honest. Kowalski came running up to me.
Yo, Fozo, you're back, man. I was so worried about you.
I'm safe, but not by much. I feel so weak.
Yeah, I figured. Here, take this.
He threw me some bread, and I thanked him. I began to eat it and asked him where he got it from. Kowalski told me that while I was gone, he built a farm and planted seeds to grow wheat.
Yeah, but that's not all, man. Some witch came by and told me that you sent her here to stay. She's like totally chill, man.
Wow, that's so kind of you. I heard a commotion and turned around and saw Steve and the witch fighting. Hey guys, what are you doing?
I hate him.
Not as much as I hate you.
I told him to stop fighting. What's the matter with you two?
Sorry, man. It's in our nature.
Well, that ends today. We need to start thinking for ourselves and working together. There is a bigger evil out there in this world, whether you know it or not. I need to get some upgrades. I'm gonna stand no chance against it.
Hey, I have a bunch of stuff I'm not using at my base. Let's go get it.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. Steve and I headed off towards his base. It's probably a good idea to split him and the witch up anyways. We arrived at Steve's base. This place was massive. What was he doing hanging around my dumpy old base I made him? We entered inside, and he took me into his massive loot room. He opened a chest and began going through some of the things.
Ah, here it is.
Steve turned around and tossed me an iron set of tools, as well as an iron chest plate.
I don't have much use for this stuff. We'll definitely serve you better.
Well, thank you for your generosity. We began to leave when suddenly I heard a cry for help. What was that, Steve?
Oh, dude, you're gonna love this.
We entered a room filled with villagers that were stuck in one-block cells. They were all standing behind a lectern. Help us, please! Steve, what is wrong with you?
Pretty sweet, right? This guy gives me mending 3 for only 5 emeralds.
Villagers don't deserve to be some kind of prisoner, man. These people need to be released and returned home.
Everyone does it, man. Don't worry.
No, release them now. If you don't, you're no better than the all-seeing eye himself. I could see he felt bad and realized what I was saying was true. He agreed to let them be free and return to their villages.
So he is with Steve, I see. Time to pay him a visit and make him an offer.
On days 24 to 26,
Come out, Lava Warden.
Steve and I rushed outside of his base and saw the all-seeing eye was there. How did you find us and what are you doing here?
I am here for you. I wanted to make you an offer.
An offer? Yeah, like I would accept anything that you would have to say. I know you created the Wardens and then chose to defeat all of them.
This is true. You are very special. If you work with me, we can accomplish great things.
I would never, and I mean never, choose to work with you. All you want to do is control everyone in this world. You're sick.
Then you will watch everything you love perish, and I will take you.
There was a flash, and he vanished.
Something isn't right, Fozo. If the Eye created the Wardens, why would he destroy them all? There has to be a reason he's doing it.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I need to find out more about what happened with him and the Wardens in the past. He also said that everything I love would perish. Oh no, Kowalski! We need to get back to base, now. Steve and I raced off as fast as we could, back toward our home. Steve and I made it back to my base, but we were too late. It was in total ruins. This place had been attacked and set on fire. My house, Kowalski's house, everything was almost unrecognizable from when they were built. I looked at the sheep pen, and all the sheep were gone. These poor animals didn't deserve this. Kowalski, where are you, buddy? I called out his name, but he was nowhere to be found. Oh no, something terrible must have happened to him. The witch returned to the base and told us that the skeleton had come and attacked it. They had destroyed everything.
The worst part? They took Kowalski. He's as good as gone.
That is not true. If he is out there, we have to find him, and I'm not giving up hope.
Fozo, come quick.
I rushed over to Steve and asked him what was going on.
Look there.
I looked where Steve was pointing. I noticed that there was a small trail of snow leading out of the base. It must be Kowalski. He's alive and leaving a trail for us to follow. Come on, Steve. We don't have much time. On days 30 to 32, we followed the trail of snow to a mountain and noticed that the trail ended. I wonder where they could have gone from here.
Yeah, buddy, you're not taking me outside easily.
Kowalski? Where was he? We looked around and spotted what appeared to be a nest of some kind. The skeleton was circling above it. We have to get up there and help him fast. Steve and I made our journey to the nest. Kowalski, we're here to save you.
Boy, am I glad to see you guys. I got took by some kind of freak.
The skeleton spotted us and started to attack. It must have been a trap to lure me here. It swooped down and hit me. Ouch, that hurt.
You are weak, Warden, and you will die.
We were being overpowered. I felt like this might be the end for me. I started to get angry, thinking about all the pain the eye had caused this world. I felt a great power growing inside of me, and all of a sudden, a sonic boom shot out directly at the skeleton, startling it for a second. I continued to roar, and I can tell it was super effective against it. It charged at me again, and I let out one final roar, defeating it for good.
Ja, thank you for saving me, Fozo. I really owe you one, man.
Don't mention it, buddy. Now let's get back to base. We set off back home.
He has gotten too powerful. I don't want to have to do this, but I think it must be done.
On days 33 to 35, we returned to our base that was still in shambles after the skeleton attacked.
Aw, man, our home is like all ruined.
It's no problem. We can fix this place back up in no time. The two of us went into the world and started to gather wood and stone that we needed for our base. Once we had enough, we returned and began to rebuild our houses. Suddenly, there was a strange sound, and the mysterious figure appeared in front of us. You, what are you doing here?
I've never seen a shout be so effective against the minions of the Eye.
Yeah, but I don't think I can use it again anytime soon. It required a ton of energy, and I don't think I have it right now.
Then, we need to find a way to harness that shout and utilize it to defeat the All-Seeing all-seeing eye.
The entity told us that a long time ago, there was a special horn that could amplify sound waves. Sadly, it's broken now, and its pieces have been scattered across the entire world.
All over the world? Is there anything more about this horn that we should know?
No, there's no time. You must go to the Eye's kingdom in the Farlands if you wish to know more.
The entity suddenly disappeared. The Eye's kingdom, huh? I better start preparing. I had defeated the all-seeing Eye skeleton with pure luck using my shout, but deep down, I didn't think I was prepared to go to his base. I went to a nearby cave in hopes of finding some iron and maybe diamonds to upgrade my armor and tools. I spent some time mining and was actually able to find a few diamonds. I used the iron I collected to finish my armor, crafting myself iron pants, a helmet, and some boots. With the diamonds, I crafted myself a sword. With my new upgrades, I started to make my journey toward the Farlands to find the Eye's kingdom. As I made my way towards the Farlands, I noticed that a lot of trees were missing leaves. What? It's not even fall yet. What could have caused this? It seemed odd, but I needed to get to the Farlands and find out more about the Wardens, and I definitely did not have time to investigate this.
You think you're strong now, just because you defeated my minion? I need to summon something that is beyond your feeble imagination. I have a task for you.
On days 39 to 41, I made it into the Farlands, and the Eye's tower was just in sight. I approached the tower, and it was huge and terrifying. Am I really gonna have to find my answers here? I guess so. Inside the tower, it was surprisingly empty and quiet. I came across a journal on the ground. Wait, it's a journal from a warden named Kyle? I continued to read the journal, and